But now, it was gradual, it was unknown really to you, and you said, like, you never ever shared that with your mother?
No.
She was long dead
nor my
before,
father.
nor your father.
No, my father was long dead. He was also dead before.
Yeah.
That's what gave me the freedom to talk about it.
And do you think that because you had a very close relationship with your parents, do you think that you would have shared it with them if you could have admitted it to yourself? Or do you think even if you could have admitted it to yourself, there would have been too much shame involved?
All of those, Jim. Plus the fact that I don't think my father would have, or my mother would have believed me to say that a brother had done that to me. And certainly my aunts and cousins wouldn't, because this man was in and out of their house regularly. And at that time, they would not have, you know.
And age-wise, how much older than you was he?
Oh, he was an old man. He was an old man.
So you never got to confront him either?
No.
Do you regret that?
No, I don't really. He was long dead before I could even admit it, you know, that how much damage he had done to me. I didn't know he had damaged me, but I did begin to fear. In midlife, I began to see that I was having an unusually bad view of life and stuff like that, and an unusually bad view of myself. And because I was out on a wing, I came for a fair bit of criticism in life, and the criticism I was beginning to take awfully personally. The lucky thing about it is that it never changed me from doing things differently. Now, where I got that confidence, I don't know. I think where I got that confidence was that my mother would always say to me, and the small things that you would imagine in your life, and mothers or parents have a huge influence on you by what they tell you and do, and they lived it. Myself, it didn't matter who came to our house, my mother looked after them. It could be smelly men with Wellingtons, men with or women done up to the 99s. Didn't matter. They all sat down with Sid and they got a cut of homemade fudge bread that she had made on the hearth fire with butter on it, and everybody got treated the same. And she would always say, Protestant, Catholic, never a difference.
So again, it goes back to this concept of caught, not taught.
Caught, not taught. And so the thing about it was, in other words, you do your best. You know, religion was never complicated for her or my father. It was, you do good wherever you see.
So,
and you be good, but you do good.
As a young boy dealing with that abuse or being abused, because you didn't deal with it, you then 10 years later or less here were re-abused. Was that a multiplication of the abuse of before? Was it an extension of it?
It was a different, because it was a man that I was helping within the community.
Right.
And he took he became sick every day so that I would attend him in his room. That's what we had to do. And there was a Latin word called an infirmorium, which is the Latin word infirm, helping the sick. It's the positive of the sick. So an infirmarian was somebody who looked after the sick, and it was a duty we got as students. And this man, every time my duty came around, he'd get sick. And then he would use and abuse. It took me about 3 months to realise what was happening. But he told me that if I said no at a certain stage, which was the key. So he said, if you ever tell anybody, I'll make sure you're never in.
And you believe that?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And he talked about me, he says, I know who did that to you. Because he did the same to me.